Ever wonder why some people seem to drain your energy, pull you into unnecessary drama, or make you question your own worth? It's not just in your head. It's a sign that certain people bring toxic traits that can derail your peace and progress. Marcus Aurelius, a thinker who knew a thing or two about navigating life's challenges, warned against allowing these negative influences into your world. He once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." But it's not just your thoughts, it's the people you let close. Today, we're not just identifying these toxic traits. We're getting real about why you need to cut these people off, not out of spite, but to protect your own journey. If you're ready to take back control, elevate your standards, and make some necessary changes, hit that subscribe button. This isn't about being cold, it's about being clear on what you need to thrive. So let's dive into the traits that Marcus Aurelius would urge you to cut from your life before they cut into you. Cut off. Those who manipulate you for their own benefit. Manipulation is one of the most insidious forms of toxic behavior, and Marcus Aurelius would have seen it as a profound betrayal of human connection and trust. Manipulators are individuals who seek to control others through deceit, guilt-tripping, flattery, or other underhanded tactics designed to serve their own interests at the expense of those around them. They often present themselves as allies or even friends, but their actions reveal a darker reality. They are constantly calculating, always positioning themselves to gain an advantage. To them, relationships are not built on mutual respect or genuine care. They are transactional, and people are merely tools to be used. Manipulators are skilled at reading others' emotions and weaknesses, exploiting them to achieve their goals. Whether it's pressuring you into decisions that benefit them, twisting your words, or playing on your emotions, their behavior is relentless and damaging. Marcus Aurelius would advise us to recognize these manipulations for what they are: a breach of trust that fundamentally disrespects your autonomy and boundaries. Manipulators thrive on control. They crave the feeling of pulling strings behind the scenes, influencing outcomes without ever having to directly confront their own motives. They create an illusion of care and concern, but it's always conditional, designed to draw you deeper into their web. These individuals will often use charm and persuasion to gain your confidence, only to use that trust against you later. They make you question your decisions, doubt your instincts, and sometimes even feel guilty for standing up for yourself. This is their power. They shift the dynamic so subtly that you may not even realize you're being manipulated until the damage is already done. Marcus Aurelius believed in the strength of self-awareness and the importance of protecting one's inner peace from external disruptions. Manipulators are the antithesis of this philosophy. They disrupt your peace, erode your confidence, and often leave you feeling drained and controlled. One of the most harmful aspects of manipulation is that it undermines your sense of self. The manipulator's tactics often involve making you feel responsible for their feelings, actions, or circumstances. They may frame their needs as emergencies, their problems as your responsibility, or their mistakes as misunderstandings that you somehow caused. This relentless shifting of blame keeps you off balance, always second-guessing yourself and constantly working to please or placate them. Marcus Aurelius would argue that such behavior is not just morally wrong, it's corrosive to both parties. The manipulator is trapped in a cycle of deceit, unable to engage authentically with the world, while their target is robbed of their agency and self-respect. Marcus would counsel that true relationships, whether personal or professional, must be rooted in mutual respect, honesty, and a genuine interest in the well-being of the other person. When manipulation enters the picture, these foundational elements are destroyed, leaving behind a hollow, one-sided dynamic that benefits only the manipulator. Cutting off manipulators is not just about protecting yourself, It's an essential step in reclaiming your own power and dignity. Marcus Aurelius believed that each person has a duty to cultivate their own mind and character, free from the undue influence of others. To allow a manipulator to remain in your life is to invite constant turmoil and self-doubt. It is a refusal to set boundaries that protect your mental and emotional health. Marcus would advise us to be vigilant, to recognize the signs of manipulation early, and to act decisively when those signs appear. Removing these toxic influences is not an act of cruelty. It is a necessary step in maintaining your own integrity and peace. By cutting off those who manipulate you for their own benefit, you make a powerful statement that your value cannot be twisted, your boundaries cannot be breached, and your life cannot be controlled by those who do not truly care for your well-being. This is the essence of living in alignment with your own values, free from the deceit and control of others. Cut off. Those who constantly lie and deceive. Marcus Aurelius held truth in the highest regard, viewing honesty as a fundamental pillar of a virtuous life. To him, a commitment to truth was not just about avoiding deceit. It was about living authentically and building relationships based on trust and integrity. Those who lie and deceive are not just bending facts. They are manipulating reality itself, creating a world where nothing is as it seems, and where trust becomes impossible. Chronic liars and deceivers use falsehoods to protect themselves, manipulate others, or gain advantages, often at the expense of those who trust them most. Marcus would see this behavior as deeply toxic because it erodes the very foundation of human connection. When you cannot trust someone's words, you cannot rely on their actions or intentions either. This constant questioning creates a destabilizing effect, leaving you perpetually on guard, unable to fully engage or feel secure in the relationship. To Marcus, living among liars is like navigating a world without solid ground. Unstable, dangerous, and ultimately destructive to one's peace of mind. People who constantly lie and deceive are often skilled at masking their true nature. They can be charming, persuasive, and seemingly trustworthy, luring you into a false sense of security. However, their deceit is always just beneath the surface, ready to twist reality to suit their needs. They lie to avoid accountability, to paint themselves in a better light, or to gain something they could not achieve through honest means. This behavior reflects a profound lack of integrity and respect for others, as it shows that the liar values their own comfort or gain above the truth and the well-being of those around them. Marcus Aurelius would argue that this lack of authenticity is not just a character flaw. It's a fundamental betrayal of what it means to be human. Deceit is an act of selfishness, a refusal to engage with the world honestly, and a direct affront to the Stoic values of honor, courage, and sincerity. Living with or around deceitful people also takes a toll on your own character. When surrounded by lies, you may start to question your own perceptions, feel compelled to cover up for them, or get drawn into their web of dishonesty. This association can erode your own moral compass, making it easier to justify small lies or to overlook unethical behavior. Marcus Aurelius would caution that engaging with liars not only damages your trust in others, but also threatens your own integrity. He believed that personal virtue required constant vigilance, a steadfast commitment to truth, and a refusal to compromise on principles. By tolerating lies, you risk becoming entangled in a cycle of deceit that goes against the core values that Marcus upheld: truth, honor, and respect for oneself and others. Moreover, liars often create chaos and conflict, as their falsehoods inevitably come to light. When lies unravel, they leave a trail of hurt, confusion, and betrayal, damaging relationships and creating rifts that are often irreparable. Marcus Aurelius understood that the stability of one's life depends on the reliability of the people around them. To build a meaningful life, One must be surrounded by individuals whose words and actions align, whose promises can be trusted, and whose honesty is unwavering. Chronic liars destroy this stability, introducing a constant undercurrent of uncertainty that undermines all aspects of personal and professional relationships. Marcus would advise that the best course of action is to distance yourself from those who cannot be truthful, as their presence will inevitably bring more harm than good. Cutting off those who constantly lie and deceive is not about being unforgiving. It's about protecting your own mental, emotional, and moral well-being. Marcus Aurelius would argue that every lie weakens the fabric of human connection, making it impossible to build anything meaningful on a foundation of falsehood. By choosing to cut ties with deceitful people, you uphold a standard of honesty and integrity that Marcus believed was essential for a good life. You set boundaries that refuse to tolerate dishonesty, and in doing so, you affirm your commitment to living authentically, surrounded by those who share your values. In the end, living a life aligned with truth is not just a Stoic ideal. It's a fundamental necessity for anyone seeking peace, respect, and genuine connection in a world too often marred by deceit. Cut off those who drain your energy with negativity. Marcus Aurelius understood that life is filled with challenges, and maintaining a calm, composed mindset is crucial to navigating them successfully. He believed in the power of inner strength and the importance of guarding one's mental and emotional energy against unnecessary disruptions. Negative people, those who perpetually complain, criticize, or dwell on what's wrong without seeking solutions, are a direct threat to this equilibrium. These individuals often seem to thrive on pessimism, dragging others into their vortex of despair and cynicism. They focus on problems rather than possibilities, setbacks instead of solutions, and their perpetual negativity acts like a black hole that consumes all the light around them. Marcus Aurelius would see this behavior not just as a personal flaw, but as a toxic force that actively hinders the pursuit of a virtuous and fulfilling life. To him, negativity is a corrosive presence that chips away at one's peace of mind and resilience, making it imperative to cut off those who habitually drain your energy. Negative individuals often project their own frustrations, fears, and failures onto those around them, creating an environment of perpetual discontent. They rarely offer constructive feedback or encourage positive action. Instead, they complain, find fault, and spread a sense of helplessness. This constant stream of negativity can be incredibly draining, sapping your motivation and dampening your spirits. Marcus Aurelius believed in the importance of surrounding oneself with people who inspire, uplift, and challenge you to be better. Negative people, however, do the exact opposite. They pull you down, making every effort seem futile and every goal appear out of reach. They rob you of the mental clarity needed to face life's challenges with courage and composure, replacing it with a fog of doubt and disillusionment. Marcus would argue that cutting off such individuals is not just a choice, but a necessity for anyone seeking to maintain their own sense of purpose and positivity. Negativity also tends to be contagious. Spending time with those who constantly complain or focus on the worst aspects of any situation can subtly shift your own mindset. You may start to adopt their language, mimic their outlook, or feel weighed down by their perpetual sense of doom. Marcus Aurelius warned against letting external influences dictate your internal state, as it weakens your ability to act with reason and integrity. He believed that your mind is your most valuable asset, and allowing negativity to infiltrate it is like leaving the door open to thieves. It robs you of your peace, disrupts your focus, and can even lead you to question your own abilities and worth. Marcus would advise that maintaining a positive, proactive attitude requires intentional effort, and that effort is made infinitely harder when surrounded by those who dwell in the negative. Moreover, negative people often fail to take responsibility for their own outlook, instead blaming their mood on external circumstances, other people, or simply the state of the world. This refusal to own their negativity makes them unwilling or unable to change, trapping them, and anyone who remains close to them, in a cycle of endless dissatisfaction. Marcus Aurelius, who believed deeply in personal accountability, would see this as a profound weakness. To him, every individual has the power to choose their response to life's challenges, and surrendering that power to negativity is a form of self-betrayal. By continuing to engage with those who perpetuate this mindset, you risk being pulled into their narrative of blame and hopelessness, diverting your focus from your own growth and goals. Ultimately, Marcus Aurelius would counsel that cutting off those who drain your energy with negativity is essential to protecting your own mental and emotional well-being. Negativity does not just affect the individual. It spreads, influencing everyone it touches, and creating an environment where optimism, creativity, and resilience struggle to survive. Marcus would argue that it is better to distance yourself from those who bring nothing but gloom and pessimism, allowing you the space to cultivate a mindset rooted in positivity, hope, and proactive action. Surrounding yourself with those who inspire rather than deflate is not just a matter of preference. It's a conscious choice to protect your peace, preserve your energy, and keep your focus on the path of virtue and purpose. Cutting off negative influences allows you to reclaim your mental landscape, ensuring that it remains a place where resilience, determination, and joy can thrive. Cut off those who criticize without offering solutions. Marcus Aurelius, a great believer in the power of constructive action, understood that criticism, when done with good intent, can be a powerful tool for growth. However, criticism without solutions is destructive. It tears down without building back up, leaving only doubt, frustration, and a sense of inadequacy in its wake. People who constantly criticize without offering any helpful suggestions often do so not to improve a situation, but to elevate themselves at the expense of others. This kind of behavior reflects a mindset that is not only unproductive but toxic, as it undermines confidence, breeds resentment, and creates a culture of negativity. Marcus would see this relentless fault-finding as an act of cowardice, revealing a person who is quick to judge but unwilling to contribute positively. He believed that true wisdom involves not just identifying problems, but also seeking ways to address them, and those who refuse to do so are not worthy of your time or respect. Critics who never offer solutions often mask their own insecurities and shortcomings by focusing on the flaws of others. They position themselves as superior, pointing out errors and mistakes while conveniently avoiding any responsibility for improvement. Marcus Aurelius would argue that this is a clear indication of a lack of self-awareness and personal accountability, qualities that are essential for any kind of meaningful personal growth. These critics thrive on the power they feel from tearing others down, using their words as weapons to undermine rather than uplift. They are not interested in dialogue, collaboration, or progress. Their only goal is to assert their dominance by highlighting the failures of others. Marcus would counsel that such people are not only harmful to your self-esteem, but also to your ability to learn and grow, as their constant negativity creates a barrier to constructive feedback and genuine improvement. Furthermore, this kind of empty criticism creates an environment where fear of judgment stifles creativity and initiative. When you are surrounded by people who only criticize without ever suggesting a better way forward, you become hesitant to take risks, make decisions, or even voice your own ideas. Marcus Aurelius believed that courage is essential to living a fulfilling life, and that includes the courage to act, make mistakes, and learn from them. Critics who offer no solutions drain this courage, leaving you second-guessing every move and ultimately paralyzed by the fear of falling short. Marcus would argue that this environment is not just counterproductive, It's toxic to both personal and collective progress. He believed that criticism should always be accompanied by insight, wisdom, and a willingness to help, qualities that critics without solutions entirely lack. In addition, Marcus Aurelius taught that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and every problem carries within it the seed of a solution. Those who criticize without offering any constructive input fail to see these opportunities, instead fixating on what's wrong without considering how it could be made right. This myopic view is not just unhelpful, it's a rejection of the Stoic principle that we should strive to improve ourselves and our surroundings. Marcus would argue that anyone can point out flaws, but it takes true character and wisdom to transform those observations into actionable steps toward a better outcome. Surrounding yourself with people who only see problems without any interest in solutions keeps you mired in stagnation and negativity, constantly focused on what's lacking rather than what could be achieved. Ultimately, Marcus Aurelius would advise cutting off those who criticize without offering solutions, because their behavior reflects a deeper unwillingness to engage positively with the world. Their constant fault-finding is a projection of their own dissatisfaction, and engaging with them only drags you down into the same cycle of negativity and blame. Marcus believed that the best way to live is to focus on what you can do to make things better, whether in your own life or in the lives of others. By distancing yourself from those who do nothing but criticize, you free yourself to seek constructive feedback, pursue solutions, and embrace a mindset of continuous improvement. Cutting off these negative influences is not about avoiding criticism. It's about ensuring that the criticism you do receive is meaningful, actionable, and ultimately serves your growth. Marcus would argue that only those who build, inspire, and guide are worthy of your time, and that critics without solutions have no place in a life dedicated to purpose, progress, and positive change. Cut off those who refuse to take accountability for their actions. Marcus Aurelius believed that personal accountability is at the heart of a virtuous life. For Marcus, every individual is responsible for their actions, decisions, and the consequences that follow. Those who refuse to take accountability shift blame, make excuses, and constantly deflect responsibility onto others. This behavior is not just frustrating, it's deeply corrosive to both relationships and personal growth. People who dodge accountability often operate under a mindset that their failures are never truly their own, and they are quick to play the victim, casting themselves as the unjustly wronged party. Marcus would view this lack of responsibility as a fundamental character flaw, one that prevents any genuine self-improvement or understanding. He believed that true strength comes from owning your mistakes, learning from them, and making amends. Those who refuse to do so live in denial, hiding behind a wall of excuses that protect their fragile ego but prevent any real progress. People who evade accountability create a toxic environment where honesty and trust are impossible to maintain. When someone consistently refuses to admit their mistakes, they leave others to deal with the fallout, often placing undue burdens on those around them. This not only erodes trust, but also fosters resentment, as the responsibility that one person evades is inevitably picked up by someone else. Marcus Aurelius understood that a well-functioning community, whether it be a family, a workplace, or a broader social group, depends on each member doing their part and being accountable for their actions. Accountability is the glue that holds relationships together, and without it, connections fray and mutual respect dissolves. Marcus would argue that surrounding yourself with people who refuse to take responsibility weakens your own resolve and can pull you into a cycle of blame and deflection that undermines all efforts toward collective and personal success. Moreover, those who refuse to take accountability often live in a state of constant denial, avoiding introspection and personal growth. They shy away from self-reflection because it forces them to confront uncomfortable truths about their behavior and decisions. Marcus Aurelius would see this avoidance as a form of weakness, a refusal to engage in the kind of honest self-examination that is essential for living a virtuous life. Marcus frequently wrote about the importance of looking inward, understanding one's flaws, and actively working to correct them. For him, accountability was not just about admitting wrongdoing. It was about embracing the opportunity to grow and become a better person. In contrast, those who dodge responsibility remain stagnant, trapped in their own web of justifications and denials. Their refusal to take ownership of their actions prevents any real progress and perpetuates a cycle of failure and excuse-making. The refusal to take accountability also sends a clear message that the individual values their ego more than the truth. This prioritization of self-image over integrity creates a facade that cannot be sustained and eventually crumbles under the weight of unacknowledged mistakes. Marcus Aurelius believed that integrity is built through consistent, honest action, acknowledging when you're wrong, making amends, and striving to do better. Those who refuse to take accountability undermine this principle, creating a false narrative that absolves them of fault but disconnects them from reality. Their constant blame shifting not only damages their own character, but also sets a poor example for those around them, promoting a culture where personal responsibility is seen as optional rather than essential. Marcus would argue that tolerating such behavior is detrimental, as it allows dishonesty and cowardice to flourish. Ultimately, Marcus Aurelius would advise cutting off those who refuse to take accountability because their behavior is incompatible with the pursuit of a meaningful, virtuous life. Their unwillingness to own up to their actions not only stifles their own growth, but also negatively impacts everyone around them. Marcus would urge us to seek out those who demonstrate integrity, who are willing to admit their mistakes and learn from them, and who take responsibility for their words and deeds. By surrounding ourselves with individuals who hold themselves accountable, we create an environment that fosters honesty, trust, and continuous improvement. Cutting off those who refuse to do so is not about punishment. It's about preserving your own commitment to a life guided by truth, accountability, and the courage to face oneself honestly. In a world that often looks for ways to shift blame, choosing to cut off those who refuse responsibility is a powerful act of self-respect and a declaration of your own commitment to living with integrity. As we circle back to the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, let's remember where we began. We started this journey by identifying the toxic traits that can derail your peace and progress, traits that Marcus himself would have warned against. Now, after exploring these 6 behaviors, manipulation, deceit, disrespect, negativity, criticism without solutions, and a refusal to take accountability, you stand at a critical juncture. The question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue to allow these toxic influences in your life, or will you take decisive action to protect your mental and emotional well-being? The power to shape your future is in your hands. Every relationship you maintain, every interaction you engage in, has the potential to either uplift or undermine you. So don't just close this video and move on. Take the first step today, no matter how small, towards surrounding yourself with people who respect your boundaries, value honesty, and inspire growth. As you reflect on what you've learned, ask yourself, are the people in your life helping you become the person you want to be? Or are they pulling you away from your path? You've seen the traits that Marcus Aurelius would have advised cutting off, but the real question remains, are you brave enough to take action? Remember, your journey doesn't end here. This may be the conclusion of our discussion today, but the real work is just beginning. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep striving to align your life with the principles that lead to true happiness and fulfillment. The insights you've gained are not just words. They are tools for transformation. Use them wisely. Imagine a life where every person in your circle contributes to your growth, where every relationship is built on mutual respect and honesty. That life is within your reach. What kind of future will you build with the power of your choices? Before you go, let's keep this conversation going. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Which of these traits do you find most harmful, and how will you apply Marcus Aurelius's wisdom in your life? Your insights could inspire someone else to rethink their own journey. And if this message resonated with you, hit the like button. It's a small action, but it's a commitment to your own growth. Don't forget to subscribe to stay connected on this journey of wisdom and self-mastery. The real question is, are you ready to start living by these principles today?